Feed the raven. Feed the raven. Feed the raven. Feed the raven.
Hello, this is Duckhunter for the Feed the RAVER podcast from New York City. And the story behind my DJ name really comes from a story that happened to me in 2005 when I was taking a boat ride with a few of my friends in New York, and we got stranded on a boat and washed off ashore by a storm. And as I tried to rescue myself, I swam to what I thought was continental land. It turned out to be an island, and I got rescued by the Coast Guard. So when they asked me for the National Public Radio interview how I was going to survive on the island, I said I was going to hunt ducks if I had to stay there. But I really had no intention of hurting any ducks, and basically from there the idea came for the name. And the inspiration came sometime later for electronic music name Duckhunter. I really got into music at the age of 11. I was listening to different bands from Russian punk rock bands and some American hip-hop and maybe some different kind of these things, but everything faded away pretty quickly after I discovered Russian punk rock, and I really got into playing like guitar and writing songs and recording things as I was learning to play like guitar, singing, and bass guitar and keyboards as well. I liked keyboards. I learned classical guitar, and I started music for 3 years in music school, but then I left and just started a band, and it got pretty serious. And the climax of my career was when I was 18. My band was at 2,000 people shows in Russia, and then here in New York we had a lot of concerts, with the very famous bands from Russia that played punk rock. And then of course it all changed very quickly at the age of 18, 19. I got really into electronic experimental live performance things, and that evolved gradually into me producing electronic music, where I am now with my record label, with me and my partner's record label Überkontrol. So we are here now, and my journey took me here, my adventure. Well, I would like to be more of a producing machine, but I would say that I used to produce more tracks in the past, maybe 2 years ago. But although the amount of material being produced steadily remains about the same. It maybe have over the past year and a half. It maybe shrank by maybe 30%, but of course, the quality and the overall aspect of confidence just increased. So basically, at any given time, I'm working on two tunes at most, 3 tunes. I might have a lot of scratch projects, and basically, I like to work definitely on one song and then indefinitely on a few others. But if I'm liking something and I definitely do put out at least 2 tracks every month. But sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 1 track, although it's never less than 1, and it's always a track that's going to be done to the fullest. I really like to work on 1 track at a time. That would be my favorite preference, and have everything very organized, very clean, and to be very, very focused on what you are working on. And I really like to work with a few people that I have a workflow to develop with, but I really like to work myself, of course. And when I feel confident about a song, something that I'm producing, I always know that I'm gonna catch it at the end in some form. So I just taught myself different ways to catch it differently. So I can't really know what's gonna be all the way in the end, but I can expect different things to happen. So I just like to be confident that I do it, and there's many ways I could do it, but I just believe in all of them, and I go through all of them to achieve what I do. Currently on the record label, we are focused on bringing quality music of New York City underground producers, of our friends and ourselves, and we are currently looking to to sort of focus on better quality tracks that we can obtain from our friends in the near future, but trying to also promote new work that different producers put out. So we have some future projects for say artists that have only done remixes on our label, and we also have great anticipation for releasing better and better quality music from our friends rather than just picking up from a ton of stuff we can get from everywhere else. So we rather have quality friends music than quality music from everywhere else. But it's for us more important to release our own stuff and just our friends that we have. So these are kind of what our label is about, and this way we can preserve more of our sound. And just this is what Überkontrol is about. It's kind of about preserving the control and just keeping it real with your friends and just having a musical conform, so like a musical idea that is brought together by a similar way of producing, thinking, and basically what it is all about: collaborating and making great quality techno and minimal tech house music. I have recently been starting out some experimental projects, recording different live things into the microphone with effects and different devices that were meant for making sounds to create different electromagnetic pulses with guitar pickups and medical pulsating devices for the heart and all kinds of weird things, and really experimenting with routing, effect chains, and different new DJ setups, and experimenting a lot with analog setup and the DJ way. So not really more about all these new digital machines that are coming out, but trying to find some cool, forgotten analog devices and trying to hook them up in a cool way, and just finding some cool gadgets to use for my performances in the near coming future. I have a new instrument that I developed that is my main tool that I'm going to use in my next performance, hopefully, and it's coming very soon. And my DJ setup has been advanced quite a bit, although I'm using two simple devices which are very small and they are analog, and plus this is my new tool that I'm going to use, which everybody will see. And it's going to be like a little spice on my new DJ setup, because I'm a big fan of analog and just 2-deck setup, but I always like to have some form of effects, and these two new analog DJ thingies are gonna be very fun for the crowd. We are currently focused on a few releases that we're working on. The first one is Der Apotheke EP, which is going to be like a 2-track EP with a medical feel, German techno, kind of German minimal techno feel, and very about sedation and aesthetic. And the second EP will be Fragmentation, I think, which is the current works and the project of Alex Salganic. It's going to be a very new sound, made on new synthesizers that we just got, massive, and it's gonna be these crazy new futuristic sounds, fragmentation, genetic mutation, crossover, this type of ideas, musical concepts, Recently, I've been mostly collaborating with one of my best producer friends, is Kraft, and we've been making a lot of great projects together and releases on quite a few different labels. One of them is Ilbomb Records, another would be G Records Plus, and of course Überkontrol. He has released an EP on our label, very cool, electronic techno EP called Stay Underground, and we are focused basically now on sharpening our own skills more and doing more collaborations on different other cool labels in the near future, this year especially. But I've been also collaborating a lot with one of my friends, Darius Bai, and he's used to be called Unsaved Six, one of my great producer friends on our label. And just quite a few new people that I've been focused to working with. One kid from France, Caspian. He has great releases on many different cool labels, including Freitag Limited and some other ones. And it's like, collaborations are a great thing that I'm really looking forward to with my friends from New York, this great city that we're all a part of, and it's looking really fresh and sparkling for this year. We are planning to hit a few small clubs in Europe this summer, like Red Zone Club and the Stavny in Ukraine. So we're looking to do a small tour in Europe, and just basically for our own pleasure, fun, and to meet some new cool people and connect with a few friends we have in Europe, like from France and Germany. So it's going to be like a cool time spent with little techno fun that could, have its own blossom in the coming future. Producing music in my studio has become like a very, very essential and holy tradition for me. It's like everyday practice and a way of life that I go by, and it just, I see myself not like more of an artist DJ, musical artist, rather than like complete clubber. But I am definitely trying to incorporate the artistic side into that clubber raver scene type feel. So, but I'm always trying to stay on the artistic side because I consider myself to be an artist, sound designer, even maybe songwriter, more than like a club DJ. I never prepare anything. I always play what I feel. For my DJ session, I like to have 2 decks, a sampler, a vinyl, time code, and basic type of effects in Traktor, and this lets me create, very unique DJ session in Traktor.